For so long, we've been here, we've been trying.
Hi there, and welcome to the Springboard Hangout. You know, it's not the load that you carry, but it's how that breaks you down. It's the way you carry it. And this was said by Lou Holtz. You're welcome to another exciting edition of the Springboard Hangout. The Springboard Hangout, as you know, it's a fun, educative program that seeks to bring together things that worry us or things that bugger our minds, but in a fun and educative way. My name is Comfort Okran. Today, we are doing the fifth in our series of the Workplace and Personal Productivity series, and we are looking at managing stress. Managing the stress that sometimes seems like this huge monster that's about to swallow us up, or managing the stress that makes us say, despite the things that are going on in our lives, we'll still be productive, we'll still be personally good. You know, whatever you do, wherever you are, I think this is a program that you need to be part of. And I would encourage you, do call a friend, do call somebody to be on screen with you to listen to Managing Stress. Our fifth in the series of personal and workplace productivity. Well, this program is brought to you exclusively by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, and today we have two special guests, two counseling psychologists who both believe in the power of the mind and the power of healing that comes when we put together the mind, the body, and the environment in which we live in. Here you are, you have questions, and I know you have questions, so drop us a note. What would you like to hear from Reverend Erzoah and Augustina as we come on? And I want to tell you, don't go anywhere because it promises to really, really exciting. Write your name, tell us where you are calling us from, you're joining us from, and we'll definitely give you a shout out. My name is Comfort. I'll be right back after this break.
He's a returner. Highly spiritual.
By grace, everything you do, it be for my case. The plans of the enemy, you delete backspace. I'm the head and not the tail, yeah, that be my base. See the blessings arranged like a lattice. I go take my time, I go feed practice. Menace the business say what before me like the taxes. Don't be exponential, that book quadratics. Yeah. All these blessings are seen. Goodness and mercies are following me. God is my victory, there's no stopping me. Cup overflowing, I'm spilling some tea. All these blessings are seen. Goodness and mercies are following me. God is my victory, there's no stopping me. Cup overflowing, I'm spilling some tea.
I love you, Papa God. Elohim, you're my God. Papa God. I love you, Papa God. Elohim, you're my God. Papa God.
Get me York's rent-a-car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent-A-Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent-A-Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue-chip companies as well as individual clients.
At the time, we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well to our standards.
Their services is top-notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels. And anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Excellent. York's Rent-A-Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent-A-Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. Two of us are open for him. York's Rent-A-Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
He's a turnaround.
Welcome back to the Springboard Hangouts, your fun educative program that looks at different things that we think about, but we are able to answer it in a fun and educative way. My name is Comfort Okron, and today I'm joined in the studio by two fantastic counseling psychologists. But you know one thing, you just saw Jeffany. Jeffany is my sweetheart, and you know she's just finished a course at Wesley Girls High School, and she's about to launch her album. I don't know where you are, but we are doing a campaign to get Jeffany's album out there with a blast. So I'm encouraging you, go to Jeffany, like her YouTube page, and make sure that everywhere that you can, you share her videos, because she's a young girl that needs to be encouraged in her craft. So today we're talking about managing stress. Is it a monster or is it a friendly foe? We'll find out. I'm joined in the studio today by Reverend, to my immediate right, Reverend Erzoah Amihere. He's a counseling psychologist and also a pastor at the EP Church. And I asked him, how can, I know usually the EP Church, because of the language that they use, usually is you have to speak English most of the time. And he told me that yes, indeed, he is from Nzima, but he speaks, writes, and reads ever. And I was like, it's time I went back for my Afro Stars. But we are not talking about Afro Stars today, we are talking about managing stress. So, Rev, no be so. He's a published author of Overcoming Stress and also Realizing Satisfying Marriage in Today's World.
And retirement planning. I have a book on retirement planning.
And you have a book on retirement planning. So we'll bring you back another time. But we're the young people, we don't talk about retirement.
Yes.
But we have to be thinking about it.
You have to be thinking about it.
I agree with you. So we'll look at the retirement planning at the right time. Right. And then we also have Auntie Augustina Dadebo. She's Atkinson Dadebo. She's also another counseling psychologist. She is with the UPSA, and she is passionate about people's mental and emotional health. Rev and Augustina, you are most welcome to Springboard.
Thank you. Thank you.
I promise that we're going to hang out and we're going to talk about stress.
Yes.
So, Rev.
Yes.
What is stress?
All right. Thank you so much. Stress. We can say that it's about our appraisal of events, things around us. Whenever we sense threats, harm, conflict, tension, then we can say we are under stress. You see your appraisal of what is happening around you. you see tension, you see pressure, you see harm, then your mind tells you that, oh, I don't have the resources to deal with this situation. The stress setting. But actually, stress is not bad in itself.
Okay.
Even coming to this studio, I need a level of stress to be able to function well.
Okay.
Yeah. But when it becomes chronic, when a situation or event over time is seen as stressful and it ranges for a long time, that is what we need to be talking about. It means something is going on within your system that can destroy you.
You know, there's a song, though it's in the positive sense, say something on the inside is showing on the outside. So you're saying that in this case, is something that you are reacting to that may show on the outside.
Yes.
Augustina, I hear that we either stay, we fly, or we freeze, or we fight.
Right.
That's right.
Yes.
How would you describe stress?
Yes. So coming from where Reverend started, and also where you are coming from, the flee, the fight, and all that, the freeze. Now, imagine a snake comes here.
No.
Can
we look
so she's already stressed.
Can we look for another animal?
If that animal is not fearful, then stress will not arise in the first place.
So, even at the mention of
the snake
already is giving comfort.
Either you want to fly or you want to fight, whatever.
So, should it appear here?
Yes.
We will see whether she'll be able to fight.
You are my friend. I mean, you are my friend. So let's stay that way.
Friends.
We are friends.
We are
Okay.
friends. So cockroach.
Yes.
Yes. So when you are confronted with an issue that is overwhelming, now you would want to try to fight it, or when it is too much, you would run away. So when you are not able to contain it, then that gives you stress.
Okay.
So Reverend was talking about stress, and stress in its own way is not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Because we need a form of stress even to be more productive.
That's all.
As a student,
Okay.
I need to go through a form of stress to be able to perform.
Sure.
But if it becomes too much,
chronic,
then I am unable to contain. Then it is chronic, and this is where we say it is not good one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we are talking about stress. We are linking it to personal and workplace productivity.
Yes.
Rev, whilst we were talking earlier, you spoke about a personal issue in your life where stress made you unproductive.
Sure.
Would you care to share with us?
Oh, why not? You see, stress, as we were talking about earlier, can easily make you unproductive. He was using snake and he said you are friends. But I still want to say that the situation must induce fear.
Okay.
It must induce certain elements, fear, tension, pressure, conflict, challenging. Those situations must be
accelerated
present.
heartbeat.
Yes, accelerated heartbeat. So fight, flight, or freeze. Others will say turn and befriend. And that means that a lot of feminists will use turn and befriend.
Okay.
We will not fight the situation. But in this situation, in my case, my stressor was from the environment. And I thought I could manage it by taking to reading.
Okay.
I was living in Accra here. I will not mention the name of the actor. For over within a period of 4 years, my room is virtually the studio. of that popular actor in this country.
Yeah.
So for these 3 to 4 years, I was under stress from the environment.
Okay. Loud music.
Loud music, my room. So for that 3 years, 4 years, I could not sleep for almost. So it means that within these 4 years, the minimum distance I sleep is 1.5 hours. Now, getting to the 4th year, everything in me was collapsed. I was not productive any longer. Yes. My joints were paining me. Everything in my system, my sugar level up, my BP up.
Wow.
Heart rate.
Oh, my heart beat, everything.
Everything.
Everything is up. So, it's very easy to spiritualize it, and that kills you. Because the stress hormones were cooking me. I was burning myself virtually in that stress hormones.
Yeah.
And now I look pale. I look almost like dead person.
Wow.
Walking about.
Wow.
I didn't spiritualize it. I happened to meet Professor Dankwa, who taught me, and that's where I got to know the true meaning of what stress is. By God being so good, I was transferred from that. So it means that if I were not able to identify the source of the stress, and I continue to live in that environment, I would have been a dead person by now. I believe that the most important thing we need to do as human beings is that we must seek knowledge that will help us to place handles on things that has what it takes to destroy us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was taken away from that environment and the body of knowledge that I acquired as part of my profession, I did not give in to people who will say that this condition you are going through is as a result of forces, spiritual forces. Basically, that helped me to overcome. So when I understand what stress is all about, and now I was taken out of that environment, now I sleep soundly. The sugar level also drastically. So I did not use the what do you call it, diabetic medication.
Okay. So it was so bad. What you're saying, so from your conclusion, the stress was so bad that it made you. I mean, it came to a level where you were actually diagnosed as being diabetic.
Yes.
But actually, once you're able to remove the stressors, that condition disappeared. The whole health issue that you were facing now also healed.
The joint pains, as a result of excessive stress hormones in your system, vanished.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we've defined stress. We've seen that it can be either internal or external. We've also seen that it's something that if we don't see how much we are undergoing that, it can affect us, in this case, negatively.
Sure.
Right?
Negatively.
Okay. So, Auntie Augustina.
Yes.
Is stress only felt physically, or there are other ways that stress manifests itself in our bodies?
Thank you. It is not only physical.
Okay.
It could be seen in the way we behave.
In our behavior.
In our behavior.
Okay.
And sometimes the behavior can even not be seen by others.
Okay.
But it is still an exhibition of stress.
Okay.
So, for instance, somebody who is stressed and decides to be indoors, this person is always indoor, withdrawn, talking to himself or herself, and all that. It creates anxiety, depression, and sometimes it's very difficult to diagnose such things unless the person becomes aware of himself or herself, and then a psychologist or a professional comes in. That is where we can see. So it's very cunning, sometimes very difficult to assess it, to know that this person is under stress.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it shows in different ways.
Shows in different ways.
Yes.
So you are in a workplace.
Yes.
Your teammate is maybe undergoing stress.
Yes.
But let's say that, or the whole atmosphere in which the team is always facing a lot of stress in the environment.
Yes, before we come down, let me just add to what my son just said, that you were asking of how does this become manifest and all those things. You will do ourselves a great deal of good if you look at it in the domains of life.
Okay.
So you have your biological domain, you have your psychological domain, you have the social domain, and other domains.
Okay.
So behavioral. So in a workplace, somebody is becoming his or her tolerance level is so low. Slightest provocation. He's annoying, throwing temper tantrums.
Oh Lord.
So that is the behavioral domain.
Yeah.
He can become aggressive at the slightest. What it doesn't call for annoyance, the person is annoyed.
Oh.
That is a sign
Okay.
that person is going through stress. And the psychological aspect of it, sleepless nights, insomnia.
Okay.
You can't sleep
Okay.
as a result of the stress you are going through.
Okay.
All right? And what also follows is that even the way you eat can change.
You mean my
don't
wife-
have appetite
You don't
for
have
food.
appetite. Hey.
And general apathy towards work. You wake up, it's like you don't feel like going to work. Oh. What actually you love to do, you have no interest in them. So stress affects every domain of our life. Now, the workplaces.
Yeah.
How do we make the workplace free from stress? People are assigned for responsibilities. The stresses are there. So certain body of knowledge must be made available to people who manage and lead people in our workplaces.
Okay.
So that's how those other occupational psychologists and all those things come in the place of work.
Okay.
For example, what is the source of stresses in our workplaces?
Can the workload be part of it?
Yes. The workload can be part of it, even sexual harassment
Oh. It's true.
in the workplace. You know, I in this work, a book I was talking about here, I've identified, I've met personal clients. I give one a pseudonym, Abeta, and I give one Frank. Frank Abeta is well-constructed lady. The faith is intact. He belongs to one of the mainline churches, and she works under a boss who is sexually harassing her every day.
Oh.
The man has used all avenues. What happened was that a point in time, Abeta said, that's not her real name. Say, when he's going to work and he sees the boss, it looks like the earth should open for her to enter. Do you know what happened?
What?
This ranges on a point in time, Abeta's heart got enlarged.
Oh.
He developed a lot of skin. No, I studied, and dermatologist said that. He was a dermatologist and decided to become a psychiatrist. He said, anytime you have anything on your skin, it means the skin says, I can no longer take the stress that is going on under the skin.
Oh Lord have mercy. Yes. Right. So we have here, the conversation is so interesting, and I see you online to contributing to this. Emmanuel Abanzi says, I'm not going anywhere. Thank you for staying with us. I know you're enjoying this conversation. And Vera Bando Benefo is watching, and Vera says, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your story. It's touched a part in her. In her, Abdul Majid is God is also watching, and Alexandra Afo. Thank you all for watching. So we are going to ask a quick question. I mean, this one goes a little bit back to it. But you know, in Accra recently, we're facing a lot of traffic.
Yes.
I mean, and I think it could be one of the things that
Yes.
could be stressing
Yes.
us out.
Yes.
How do we? That it's there. Anywhere that we go, how do we manage that one?
Yes. First of all, you need to accept that this is where I live. This is happening. What are the strategies? How do I check it? So I live at Dodoa. I work in Accra. The Dodoa stretch between Dodoa and Adenta, so much traffic. What do I do? Now, there are various options that could be also more stressful, but it could manage it a little.
Okay.
Waking up very early. I know that if I don't set off by 5 o'clock and I set off like 6, I wouldn't be able to get to the office by 8 o'clock as expected. And so there is the need for me to set off very early so I get to work early so I don't have issues with my boss and all that. That could be stressful, but you can use some few hours, reach earlier, relax in the office before work begins, than being in traffic for 2 hours. You are late, you are panting, you are afraid of queries and all that. So I would suggest that we set off early, and if it is possible, we leave early. There was a story a colleague was sharing with me few days ago, and this woman who works in Accra and lives in this area, and the person said that the woman was too stressed being in traffic that she suggested to the husband to buy a motorbike, park their car, and buy a motorbike, pick her to work, and then from work, because the motorbike moves faster than the car. But have we also considered the risk factors and all that? It is difficult, but we need to manage it and see. I'm also looking at those of us who are women. Now, I'm saying that we should leave early. Assuming I have toddlers, how do I wake these children up very early, like 4 o'clock, 3, and move with them? Sometimes these children are even eating in the car. They are sleeping and they are being moved to
my children did it. They did it several. I mean, that time, I'll just pick them with Jojo up. That's when we were living in Adenta. I'll just pick Jojo up and put him in his car chair in the car. He wouldn't even have his bath, and then take him to my mom's place, and then he would go and bath at grandma's place. I mean, so it happens.
Yes, but we need to survive.
Life
must go on.
Yes,
so we need to condition our minds and accept that this is what is happening. How do I manage it? So it doesn't become too stressful to the extent that it affects our lifestyle and other behaviors and biological issues and all that that Reverend mentioned. Yes.
Right. So we've realized that number one, stress is our reaction to things that happen in the atmosphere. It could be a flight one, it could be a stay and fight, or it could be one that you freeze. What we also realize is that the stress that we face is that such that it could be quote unquote can cause us a little bit of harm, and so we can either react immediately or react delayed. If we have the delayed one and it is ongoing without any stop, it could be quite bad for us. When it's bad for us, we either have an immune system reaction, as Reverend shared with us in the beginning, or maybe sometimes even our brain will not function well because we lose our memory, or we have very short fuses and we get upset at anything, or we have a lower immune system, or our mood is very, very irritable. There's a lot more we have to learn about stress and how it affects us both physically and also in the workplace. We're going for a short commercial break, which is our game changer. When we return, we continue this conversation. Don't go anywhere.
fireworks flashed, the champagne fizzed, and the players shed tears of joy. Chelsea were champions of Europe. But just 4 months ago, Chelsea's former coach Frank Lampard said the team was not ready to compete for trophies. So what changed? Today, our game changer is inspiring belief. It's no exaggeration to say that Thomas Tuchel saved Chelsea's season. The German coach took over after Lampard's exit and turned the team around. People often credit this transformation to his odd tactics like using mini footballs and banana-shaped pitches, but his man management is the real secret. Lampard made players feel like they weren't good enough, and it showed in their results. Tuchel disagreed. He defiantly insisted that his players were ready to win trophies now, not in 3 to 5 years. He took a chance on underperforming players who repaid his faith. And there's no better example of this than N'Golo Kante. The French midfielder had struggled with injuries, which affected his output. His interceptions had dropped by 28%, while his tackling plummeted 42% from its peak. Things got so bad that Kante was almost sold in January. But when Tuchel came in, he declared that he had always wanted to work with Kante. He boosted Kante's self-belief and shifted him back to his favorite number 6 role. The response was resounding. Kante worked hard to regain his form and crowned the season with man-of-the-match performances in Chelsea's 3 biggest games. It's natural to want to replace people who are underperforming, but sometimes all they need is someone to say, "I believe in you." So who are you going to believe in this week? This has been The Game Changer with Jojo Okran. Have a phenomenal week.
Thank you and welcome back. I'm glad you didn't go anywhere. We're talking about stress. We have in the studios with us today Reverend Erzoah, Amihere and Auntie Augustina. They are both counseling psychologists. The first thing that comes to mind is clinical psychologists. And I said, no, it's not clinical. They are counseling psychologists. Yes. And they believe that the words that we speak or the atmosphere around us plays a significant role. So today we are talking about stress. And we are relating that to personal and workplace productivity. And we saw what stresses are in our environment. Reverend shared a personal story with us, and we now continue our conversation. And we just saw the game changer. We saw some a team that was not performing. They had a particular environment, but the environment was changed, and that changed it. Augustina, please, what are your thoughts on the game changer?
Powerful one. Sometimes people may not be necessarily bad, but we need motivation. Okay. We need somebody just to tap that you are doing well. Okay. Good job. That alone changes the game. That alone gives the person the energy to move on. So my take home is that we need to support. Okay. We need to motivate. We need to help people to come up with their potentials. Sometimes when you are down and somebody says, "Hey, I am here for you," okay, then the person is ready to move on. Okay. But saying negative things would continue to bring the person down, and we wouldn't see any good in that person.
Fantastic, great.
Yeah. Yes. It's like what Asta just said. Okay. Changing of environment can bring about a lot of change in the way things happen around us. Yes. Yeah.
To add up, he mentioned Professor Dankwa, may he rest in peace, our lecturer. And this man has a story, and it is titled, "Words Can Heal, Words Can Kill."
Yes.
So, 2 women diagnosed of cancer. And then the first one, so woman A says, yes, people have survived. She got all the support, friends. I said, yes, cancer is deadly, but people have survived it. So you can survive. Then the woman B, hey, this cancer is the same thing that killed your mom. It's the same thing that killed your auntie. So
The story. You're
so
dead. No, this is so you will kill you.
she's
You're dead.
So words are so powerful, and let us be careful how we choose our words, especially as a mother and as a teacher and as a counselor in an educational institution. Sometimes you see some students not performing so well first semester. They come, you sit them down. How you can make it? This B can easily change to become A. Oh, you had a C. Don't worry. Let's put certain plans in place. By next semester, you realize you are getting A. And truly, then the following semester, this person comes with A's and like, how did I do it? So words are powerful. Let's use positive words to motivate people to be their best.
No, we can add by saying that it is the interpretation that we place on what has happened that matters. It's not what that happened. It's not what happened that matters, but our interpretation. Because the interpretation you place on what has happened would cause something in your system. So the other person say, "Oh, people got cancer and they will survive." Others will say, "Oh, this cancer will surely kill me, and it will surely kill you too," because you have instructed your system to fight. And it's not in a positive note. You are going to be frightened under this for how long? So the immune system would even go down, and whatever medication you are taking,
it wouldn't work.
Esinam from Kwaforidwa says that work and stress. How can we reduce tension and stress long term by making work fun? How can we reduce tension and long term and stress long term?
To make work fun.
Yeah. Because we mentioned the fact that sometimes the workplace can be so stressful that you don't look forward to going to work.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you get to work and you wish you could be 100 miles away. How can we reduce the stress? How can we reduce the tension to make it somewhere that we would love to go to?
Maybe before Reverend coming, first of all, the choice of that work. Is the person interested in it?
The work.
Okay.
Is the person capable?
Are you interested in the work? Are you capable? Yes, what other question?
You see, so when you are trying to choose your career, you should first of all look at your interests and capabilities.
Okay.
And that leads to satisfaction and productivity. So if I have seen that comfort is looking very beautiful and doing that, so me too, is that your interest area?
Yeah.
Are you capable of doing it?
Yeah.
Excuse me to say, I have a disability.
Yeah.
Then I say, Reverend is a service person. I want to be a soldier. My physical looks even wouldn't permit me to go into that field. And this is what is happening. People are not interested. People are not capable. Parents are pushing children into areas they are not interested in. And so first of all, you have failed right from the onset. So when you are going to that place, there is no interest. There is no joy. And so the little trigger of it is giving you stress. But if I'm interested in handling children, no matter how much trouble they give me, I am still seeing it as fun. So maybe Reverend will bring in the other aspect.
That's the interest in the job that takes away the tension from the job.
Okay.
You are doing what you are not interested in.
Yes.
And I always even look at this, that in our workplaces, you have either gotten yourself into a place either through foul means. So you are not equal to the task.
Forgive.
So already you are in trouble. You know, there are other issues at workplace that people see it as stress, but it's not stress. It's a burnout.
Okay.
Wow. Like you are standing, you are exhausted. This is not stressful. You are standing on your feet for long. You are somebody who doesn't like to talk. You are that reserved person. So you need a lot of energy to be able to talk to people. And that is what you need not to be there. You are a very reserved person. So you are using a lot of energy. So you are getting exhausted.
Okay.
That is not stress, but it's burnout. Yes, you are getting stress, you are getting exhausted by what you are doing. You need a lot of energy.
Okay.
And normally this goes with people who render services in the hospitals and what have you. You stand on your feet for a long time. So I was telling you that I taught since morning to now, but from this 8 hours, it was a fun to me.
Yeah.
So it was not stressful at all. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yes. So when the work turns out to be problematic, you don't have the interest and the competency. When you work places, competencies must be, you need boost competencies of people, identify stresses in workplace to be able to make the workplace friendly. People who are harassing people, people who are suppressing people in a place of work, there must be a form of education to make people aware of their actions on the people they lead.
Okay.
Yes. And that's when we go back. And then people should be placed in their right environment in a place of work.
Yeah.
So fish cannot climb a tree, but it can swim. So if you're subjecting fish to climbing of a tree, then it's going to be stressful for the fish. And so individuals we are. Put us in our area that we can exhibit our competencies and enjoy the work we do.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Put us in the areas where you can enjoy our competencies, and definitely would be very, very
productive.
The workplace will be very productive and would enjoy our work, and the place will become fun.
Yeah.
Kofi Ansah says that the way trot drivers can cause stress, especially on the Accra-Adenta route, is very bad. I agree with you, Kofi. Sometimes when I get there, I just look at them and shake my head and say, Jesus is Lord, and continue my way. And Raymond Erzoah is also clapping, saying 100%. I'm sure he's related to you. Confess. Okay. Emma Entry says that, Reverend, kindly elaborate further on the difference between stress and burnout.
All right.
Stress and burnout. Emma.
Yes, it's simple. Where there is use of energy beyond what you can give. You exhaust energy. Your energy is task. Your strength. So you are exhausted. That's burnout.
Okay.
But stress is when your interpretation of what is happening is introducing other stress hormones in your system. That is causing you to run away. That's causing you to freeze. So that's the difference. In this case, in burnout, you are exhausted. You stand on your leg for number of hours. And that is not what you are talking for number of hours. You don't used to talk that way. So that will not be, it's burnout. You burn out. But stress is when you are seeing a situation is fraught with tension, and you are telling yourself that no, I don't have what it takes to other. So do I have to fly? Do I have to fight this system, or do I have to freeze? So when the system has this element of fear, and it is causing you to mop up energy, mop up energy to take action. That is where stress comes in.
Okay. Right. Okay. Auntie Augustina.
Yes.
There are some people who technically can be called professional warriors. I mean, they worry about everything, even from how to cross the road to... Is that a form of manifestation of stress?
It could be as a result of the person's temperament. We have different kinds of temperaments, and then we have their strengths and their weaknesses. So I would take the melancholy, who is an introvert. Now, these people are excellent people, but because of their temperament, they think of the tiniest thing. They think so much. They don't want to offend people. They are perfectionists. And so if they work and they are not able to get it, then they are worried. They want to make sure that this cup that is here, even the way you have placed it and the lid on it, when they come, they will see something wrong. And so the melancholists or the introverts are prone to getting worried over the tiniest thing. Yes.
Okay, but you see, in this case, I read about somebody a young gentle boy who would not go out because he was afraid that wood would pierce him, so he would not sit on a chair like this because a wooden chair is afraid that a bee will sting him and that kind of stuff. So he just would not go out until they bribed him and he started going out a little at a time. As at 11, when he was about 12 years, he still wasn't going out.
That is a disorder. It's a form of a phobia.
Okay.
You know, I mentioned that, I won't mention the name, but I mentioned something and you nearly wanted to end the program.
Oh, no. The snake. Don't worry, the snake is. It has a small place.
So people have phobias. I used to have phobia for heights and then the elevator.
Okay.
It was that bad that if it is 8 staircase I'll climb, I won't be in the elevator. But gradually, we call it systematic desensitization. So gradually, my friends, let's go, it's nothing. So this boy, unless maybe professionally we meet and assess and be able to know exactly what the problem is, it's either his temperament or there is a phobia or he's had an experience
that is mad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Rev, so can you share 2 management stress management tactics, and then you also share another 2. I'm running right now because I just realized that our time is
so soon.
Yes, I know.
But to add to, before I come to the management style, your personality inclination can also predisposes you to become stressful all the time.
Okay.
You can talk about paranoid. You can talk to the schizoid, schizotypal. There's about 10 of them.
Yeah.
That is about thinking pattern that creates tension in the individual.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I would like to say that if you are unassertive,
unassertive,
it means you always leave workplaces with a lot of burden on your heart. So one thing is that we must learn to be assertive so that we don't leave a place of work with pain in our heart. You mention your mother, you send your children to your mother. One thing I want to add is that we must build sound social support system pushing us. So these are the 2. Build, become assertive.
Yeah.
Being able to speak your mind without communicating noise. That will give you always a heart that will be filled with peace at home. And then social support system.
Fantastic.
But you know, our spiritual worldview is another area.
Okay.
That we need to work on our spirituality.
Okay.
Because our spirituality provides us a frame of reference for interpretation.
Okay.
So the system is 40, you'll be reading benign meaning into things, and you'll always be stressful.
Yes. I will add, first of all, social interaction.
Social interactions. Okay.
We are social beings.
Okay.
We need to interact.
Okay.
So if I feel stressed or I feel that something is wrong emotionally or psychologically, I can I'm hanging out right now. Reach
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
with friends, with
Yes.
family.
Yeah.
Share, talk to somebody, get a trusted person and share. And then secondly, we cannot live here without talking about what we do as professionals. Talk to a professional.
Okay.
Talk to a counseling psychologist who will understand you, who wouldn't judge you, who will use techniques and theories and skills to help you
And whatever
overcome.
you say will be handled with confidentiality.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And I mean, one of the things that we did was during the core program
Yes.
was to have clinical psychologists like you.
Counseling psychology.
Counseling psychologists.
And the clinicals are also there.
Counseling psychologists
clinicals
like
are
you.
there,
Yeah, counseling psychologists like you,
Yes.
handling different groups.
Yes.
And we had people coming through who were very
Right.
anxious because
Yes.
of the COVID-19 and
Yes.
what the implications. And
Yes.
because it came through
Yes.
your hands, the
were very
anxieties,
fine.
they were very fine.
Yes.
In fact, some of the things that we realized is that those of them that went through the counseling sessions really came out of the
Resilient.
COVID-19 with
Yes.
very, very resilient. Their resilience was very high.
Sure.
And so we are very grateful to you for being part of that fantastic program.
Thank you.
It was excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You
And to
really-
GPA, our mother association.
Yes, we've been partners with GPA. And
Yes,
GPA
yes.
really did something wonderful for us.
Yes.
All too soon, do you have any final words before we close this program?
Yeah, I think that what I wanted to add is that stress is killing us, and we must avert our minds to whatever is destroying us. And as my sister said, make use of professionals. Make use of professionals. And I think we will be fine.
I will finally say, let us relax. There is yes, you are relaxed.
We should relax.
Too much tension, too much. I mean, we are running too fast.
Okay.
And we do not even make time to relax. Once a while, if you can't even travel, just go to the gardens, go to the beach.
Every
gardens, just
is
go
a
there
beautiful
with
place.
your mat.
Yeah, tell
relax,
me.
just
Yeah.
with the water.
Yes, I definitely did have studio shoots there. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Just relax, enjoy the natural environment, go to the beach, look at how do we call it?
The
The waves.
The serene
You know,
environment.
it's serene. Think about nature. It will take away all the things that are stressing you. Let us relax. Let's take walk and let's make fun. Sometimes we are too serious on that.
Don't be too serious, and that is a parting word that Augustina has for us. Thank you, Reverend Erzoah and Augustina, for being with us today. And we're discussing managing workplace. I mean, personal productivity. We're talking about managing stress.
Yes.
And for you, thank you so much for being with us today. On Sunday, we'll have a repeat of this program on ETV at 5 p.m. Additionally, for those of you who are on our virtual university, 7 p.m. on Joy, either Joy FM, the radio station, or on YouTube on Albert Okran A, on Springboard, SRS, the YouTube station, the YouTube channel. You can watch the session that Albert will have with Kwame Sefakai, the general himself. He's coming on Springboard Virtual University. Don't miss it. If you miss it, you are welcome to join us on Monday afternoon at 5 p.m. on Joy Prime. Until we come your way again next week with another mind-blowing workplace productivity series. I'd like to say thank you. Don't forget the words of Augustina. Enjoy yourself. Tell me, how are you enjoying yourself this week? God bless you, and you are such a phenomenal person. You are blessed. Good night.